our student community voices. Thank you for your exemplary service. Let us see this opportunity to engage, to connect, and to be inspired by the word of expertise gathered here. May today's proceedings catalyze innovation, collaboration, and unveiling pursuits of excellence. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, who keeps on hearing protocol. Thank you very much. Once again, you are welcome to St0rm University campus, and we would move straight to the lecture point. And like I said, Mr. President, the funds are discount for only ladies. All right, thank you very much. And so I once again welcome Dr. Elvis Buta, who will submit an insightful paper in terms of youth and then leadership. Just after that, then we will continue with the rest of the lecture. So, Doc, welcome.
Let us say you love. We want the incoming president to feel the heat of Central University. Joe Now can we do the feet and sing? Arise, Ghana youth, for your country. The nation demands your devotion. Let us all unite to hold them and make it great and strong. We are all involved. We are all involved. We are all involved in building our mother's land. Thank you very much. Respectfully sit down. Let me stand on existing protocols to express gratitude for the opportunity to speak to the youth of this nation here in Central University on a subject that has become increasingly very relevant, especially for our youth. We are seated here today at a time where we have a very youthful, a very youthful nation. In fact, statistics indicate that Ghana is made up of an excess of 54% youthful domination. And what it means is that the future of our great nation is one that lies in the hands of the youth. The fundamental purpose of our sitting here today is to go beyond recognizing that the future and destiny of Ghana and Africa and indeed the world lies in our hands alone, but in fact should lie in our hearts also. In an era where global affairs are shaped by complexities and multitudes of factors ranging from climate change to rising unemployment, and in the case of Ghanaian peculiarities, rising inflation and inexorable graduate unemployment, we must refocus attention to how we can effectively arrest these situations, otherwise they undermine the very survival of our nation. And this makes it important that the subject of entrepreneurship should be on the radar for discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, incoming President of the Republic of Ghana by the grace of God, I stand here on behalf of the youth of Central University, the youth of Ghana, and representing the voice of Africa, to say unequivocally to that which history has recorded. We now have youth not only running after jobs, but actually dying for jobs. Our parents, our forefathers and mothers invest a lot into our education. But we finish not having jobs. It isn't the case that the young men and women here seated are not knowledgeable. In this era of technology, innovation, and creativity, I can challenge on any platform in the world that the youth here seated have more than what it takes to do as our contemporaries are doing elsewhere in the world. The only opportunity we need now is the enabling environment. We have witnessed a dying nation where talented young men, gifted with enormous potentialities, are not even given the space to speak and not the chance to experiment that which we believe in. We are hoping that as posterity will have you as president, you will be that pace setter, as you have always been, who will grant us leverage, who will grant us latitude, and who will give us a platform so that the next mover and shaker of our continent should be a product of the Central University. Yes, we can do that. The next chief entrepreneur who will be spoken about, beyond Dangote, and even beyond the Honorable Kennedy Agyapong of our own nation, is here seated amongst us. What we need is the opportunity to prove ourselves. What we need is the support. We're no longer looking forward to anything. We're no longer looking forward only to spiritual guidance. We are looking forward to an era where spirituality, godliness meet quality leadership. Because to every nation which God has blessed, He has given a great leader who helps people navigate the storms and help people discover their true potential. That is what we want in Ghana. If youth entrepreneurship must work, then it must be at the instance of quality leadership, exemplary leadership. And let me use this opportunity to call out to action that we here seated are determined to support a new generation of leadership that is determined to pave an entrepreneurial way for us. Because therein lies our jobs. Ghana has experimented every kind of a leader except one. We have seen an era where military men in uniform ruled this country. That does not solve our problems. We have seen an era where academicians, in fact, professors have ruled this nation, yet they have not been able to solve the critical issue of unemployment and development. We have seen others who have spent the majority of their lives in politics. We can call them career politicians who have become president. They have not been able to radically change the situation and to turn same around. We have seen the leadership of a lawyer that did not significantly redesign our destinies on the path of progress. The only leader we have not experimented is an entrepreneurial leader. We have not experimented a leader who can show us the number of times he's falling, the scars he has made, and how far the Lord has brought him in success. That leader is the Honorable Kennedy Agyapong in recent politics. He has practicalized what it means to create jobs. He has exemplified what it means to be honest and speak truth to power. And so we are no longer going to wait for rhetoric or listen to experts in economic jargon. The youth here seated are looking for a mover and a shaker who will teach us not how to fish, but how to sustain fishing for the next generation. That is what sustainable development is about. And so young men and women, leadership decides it all. It is up unto you and I to pull up from our place determination to stand up for the right leadership. Else our vision, our dreams, our expectations will be buried in the deepest
guys, if you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe and share this video. Let's listen to what Kennedy Agyapong have for the Central University
we
students.
will rise up not to the stories and the propaganda of naysayers, but to the reality that we have a nation that needs rescuers. We are determined to support in this train that brings rescue. Thank you very much. And in the spirit of Mother Ghana, may we all rise up from today, do the little we can do, and be starters of business for an era that helps us in financing, that helps us in mentorship, is on its way. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And thank you very much. God bless all of us.
Thank you very much, Dr. Elvis Buta. It ended with God help us all. Amen. Mr. DJ, if you can give us a musical interlude, it will help us. Please, Mr. DJ.
So guys, that's Kennedy Agyapong, and then we have S0rm also here to join Kennedy Agyapong. That today they are at St0rm University, as they are at St0rm University. So that means that they're here to to have a conversation with a business student. That's a business student of St0rm University. So you could see that they're being lined up. Kennedy Agyapong is here. And if you're new, please don't forget to subscribe and share this video. Let it reach everybody. It's Daily Watch TV. Share this video. Let it reach everybody. Let anybody that is here, watching us, let people see what the good thing Kennedy Agyapong is doing. You can remember that he had a case with Anas Azuri. Anas is having issue with Anas, as he had an issue with Anas. So you could see that. In the news, he's in the news already. He's in the news, making the waves. So now you can see that that's our man S0rm. Yeah, S0rm the man who said that Bushia Ghana no. The man who said Bushia Ghana, we have a Bushia. We have the movie star and stuff. So you can see that Kennedy Agyapong is giving the steez, being stable, and then what he's just observing things. He's observing what is going on. So you could see that we have a lot of students over here. We have a lot of students over here too, and then you could see we have a lot of dignitaries that are here that accompany Kennedy Agyapong. We have the dignitaries who are accompanying them. We have you could see at the back there are students over here. So these are the business students who are here, who have joined Honorable Kennedy Agyapong successfully to embark on this journey of the conversation. That's the YOUTHQUAKE conference. So this quick conference, YOUTHQUAKE conference, is being held by St0rm University. The university students people, they are the people doing the SRC. So let's listen to what they have for us as we are here.
Indeed, on my way here, if you know me, another one, they are all involved, put hands together, and do whatever it takes to build our nation. We have the central cultural group here to raise us for the performance. Creative Alliance, I'm told they are ready. But before they make their way here, I see a lot of you standing at the back. Please, there are a lot of empty seats here for you. Ushers and protocol, please direct them, encourage them to sit down. The program has started, all right, and we are also having a live coverage. So please let's ensure that everything is done in an orderly manner, all right. So please, if you are standing outside, come inside. We understand that some of you just finished class, some of you are coming back from lecture. Please find a seat, sit down, and enjoy the show. all those standing at the back there, all those of you outside, please come inside and be part of the program. Creative Alliance, please, over to you.
So guys, you can see there's some cultural display that's about to happen here over here. There's some cultural display that's about to happen. So let's witness this nice cultural display by the Creative Alliance. Yeah, so you could see them that they are coming. Yeah, you could see that they are coming from behind. Yes, that's the Creative Alliance culture people that are doing their cultural display. So this is a display to make to welcome Kennedy Agyapong honorable. Yeah. So beautiful and so nice. What is honorable Boniti Koli. He's observing whatever that is going on. Yeah, he's observing whatever that is going on. So this is a culture display by some of the students. Yeah, this is a culture display by some of the students doing a nice and beautiful culture display for Honorable Agyapong. Yes, they are doing a culture display for him. Yeah, so he has given them the two. So that means he's happy of whatever that is happening. He is happy of it. What you say? There's a smile on his face. There's a smile on his face. You can see that there's a smile on his face. Yeah, he's giving them some hookahs. Again, yeah, he's giving them some hookahs. Yes, he has given them some hookahs for appreciation for what they've done. Busia. So that's honorable. Yeah, the one who said Busia. Yeah, that there should be a Chinese movie in Ghana here. So he has given some cool cash, and some of the other people are giving them some cash because they are doing well. Yeah, yes, they are showing their creative power. People are showing their creative power. Yes. People are showing their creative power. You can see that Honorable Kennedy Agyapong is happily smiling. So very soon he'll be giving his speech. Yes, very soon he'll be giving his speech. So that.
Thank you very much, Creative Alliance. Thank you very much. While you were performing, I saw that Bigwigs was spraying them with money. I want you to, I just want to alert you or bring to your attention that all the money is being in cities. So let's enjoy this. They're all diseases. Okay, so we are safe. All right. Thank you very much. So there's a gentleman here, Alex 0rm, a very fine gentleman here who makes us with some poetry. Let's receive Alex 0rm.
Good morning, everyone. So this piece is one of my collections I titled Letters to My Young Child, and the third piece of it. Oh, good afternoon. Okay, I think I was here in the morning, so I still feel it this morning, but that is fine. Okay, so the DJ will help me with this one. And especially that we are treating things on leadership, I think one of the essential things, I think Honorable Akompreko will agree with me, that one of the essential things of leadership is focus. And I think one of the key things that switch the focus of the African man is the African woman. And so this is for all the men, especially, but it's for all of us. And so let's enjoy this. If the technical people will help me with my sound. We have issues. Okay, then I will just do it just like that. All right, so like I said, this is one of my collections from the Letters to My Young Child, the third one, and the title is The Spell of the I Can't See It All. Abrabo, ni boy ni bona, forget bona, son to reach heart. And can say racist? You're not the white, already victors. Or you're saying cool, you're not saying what I mean is when on your marks, and yes, I want to say Pierre that's your bravo spam or chenka. JJ won't go on the dust saying that was up for you will be bad. There's a copy here and you can release with real ease, but production and change of the doors into the two T's are for think and take time. Into the two T's are for think and take time. Can you consider this when you are enjoying the street TC? The real A is for aspiring for the apex. And here, you're making more hand time. So aspire for the apex and do not think of these. I am speaking to all the gentlemen. I have lost my lines because I have practiced with the sound. Let me take it again. Thank you. Please clap for me. These things happen when you rehearse it for sound. Forget bona son to reach her. And can say HM races, they may be white already victors. What you're saying to call your son's guitar. What I mean is when on your mark. And yes, I would say Pierre that's your brow spam or chenka, JK. Won't go on the dust, and I was out for you will be bad. There's a copy, and you can release with real ease, but production achieves them the doors. Into the two T's are for think and take time. And you think of these when you are enjoying the street tea. You see, the real A is for aspiring for the apex, and yeah, the main one hand time. So, aspire for the relays, now bravo, bad contracts there, and here with the sign. You see, they call us racist because life is a relay, but tones pass on, nothing important and just pass away. But you, I hope you do, because your sons will appreciate, like a salary, that you give them a good raise. Follow waste and be wasted. The choice is yours. Make a can't go far, fine, well, far, that is fine, of course. But beware that someday we will ask for what you have done in this life. And you have to be able to produce it. Thank you very much. There's a summary of it. Thank you.
Oh, you can appreciate that. When you are enjoying it, think of the A. Thank you very much. And I can see in the audience right in front of me, Honorable BCU, former presidential staffer. You can appreciate him. And then also, okay, so as we progress, we introduce all the persons that will walk in. I'm reliably informed that the Dean for Student Affairs was seriously trapped in this very traffic, so a kid is bringing her, but the program is moving on. So at this point in time, Mr. DJ, whilst we're prepared to enter into the key section of today's lectures, you will give us a very good tune, and then we will call the gentleman to introduce our keynote speaker for today. And so before you do that, we can see staff of the university who are present in today's program. We have with us Emilia Abrefisapong, who is in charge of admission or the admissions office, Francis Danso, also at the estate. We have the finance directorate staff, senior staff here, Dennis Lannon. Then we have the PR department leads over here. We have Annabelle Jesse. And then the chaplaincy department, we have Barbie, Miraculous Leslie here. IT also is represented here by Jesse, Anane. And then we have Godwin Nan, Sylvia Agyapong, David Akume, all from Finance Department, Daniel Amfo, Counseling, Career Service, and then Kelvin Kobe, Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences. Thank you very much. Mr. DJ, please give us a musical interlude whilst we're prepared to invite our keynote speaker for the day. So DJ, please. The DJ for the shop. Whilst the DJ is trying to pick that, we need to acknowledge when the program also came up, our junior sisters and brothers from the Pram SHS took interest, they wanted to be part of the program. So if you see those in uniform here, they are from the Pram SHS. In fact, they were the first to get here. So welcome, welcome. Thank you very much. Mr. DJ, do you have the team or I go ahead?
Go ahead.
All right, so we will move straight. I will invite Mr. Armstrong, who will come and introduce our keynote speaker for the day. Please, I appreciate you.
Thank you. A bigger round of applause for yourselves. A bigger round of applause. Much more bigger round of applause. I think first of all, it's important for me to mention, ladies and gentlemen, that it's exciting to see such an exceptional reception you've given to Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. A big round of applause because this reception is record-breaking. Thank you. And before I go straight to why I was invited upstage, I want to associate myself with a statement made by one of you upon our arrival. I overheard one of the young guys say that for this week, Central University will remain the luckiest university ever in the history of Ghana because our Proko is visiting us today. Ladies and gentlemen, to such a young man who made this profound statement, and every single one of you who believes in the vision of Honorable Kennedy Agyapong, I say unto you that you are the future Kennedy Agyapong. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I have a specific responsibility upstage here to introduce and to present to you the keynote speaker, a man whose contributions to society and accomplishments are so well known and so well respected that in essence, he needs no introduction anywhere he goes, because his reputation precedes him everywhere he goes. Nonetheless, I will proceed to say a few things about him. Ladies and gentlemen, the keynote speaker is a philanthropist, born a philanthropist, and having risen from a deeply humble background, Honorable Kennedy Agyapong has lived all his life for others. A few weeks ago, a young man was asked how he got to know Honorable Kennedy Agyapong, and the response was so profound. He said that about 15 years ago, he had an admission to the university, but had no money to pay for the university fees. Then, desperate, he decided to go to Parliament to seek financial sponsorship or financial assistance from Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. And for the first time in his life, he met Honorable Kennedy Agyapong, told him his request. This is a good interruption. But thank you, DJ. And for the first time in his life, he met Honorable Kennedy Agyapong, told him his request, and without hesitation, Honorable Kennedy Agyapong looked him straight in the face, put his hand in his pocket, brought out every money in his pocket, and gave it to the young man to go and pay his fees. And then told him, he can do better. I can see want to show your appreciation to Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. And told him to go and come back the following year for the subsequent annual fees. Today, as we speak, that gentleman is a PhD holder, and he says that everything he is because of Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. A big round of applause for the keynote speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, today's engagement is themed entrepreneurship and national leadership. You could not have chosen any better keynote speaker than Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. Because in the world of entrepreneurship, in the world of business, Honorable Kennedy Agyapong is a mogul. Ladies and gentlemen, you will soon hear it from him that from selling picking on the street of Agradaa and later worked as a dishwasher in Germany, today, Honorable Kennedy Agyapong has become a highly successful businessman with over 45 years of business experience. Ladies and gentlemen, his businesses span several sectors of the national economy, with massive presence in the media industry, massive presence in the manufacturing industry, and a strong presence in the cold storage industry. You will agree with me, and you already know that Honorable Kennedy Agyapong is the founder and the owner of Kennedy Media Limited that operates the Truth TV, Oman FM, Ash FM, NAB Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, in the field of manufacturing, among the several manufacturing companies that the keynote speaker has, Honorable Kennedy Agyapong owns the first Ghanaian-owned, and the emphasis is very, very important, the first Ghanaian-owned and the largest one-man steel company in the whole of Africa, estimated to be close to $100 million US. Go to Kama and see. Ladies and gentlemen, in the cold storage industry, I am proud to mention once again that the keynote speaker owns the largest cold stores in the whole of Africa with a combined capacity of over 61,000 metric tons. You can put your hands together for him. He is always driven by the passion of curating jobs for the youth, and as a result, he employs over 7,000 workers in Ghana and beyond. We cannot pretend to finish the introduction without mentioning to you that in the world of politics, Kennedy Agyapong is a highly successful and astute politician with over 4 decades of political experience. Just for you to know, he's a founding member of the New Patriotic Party, which was formed in 1992. Ladies and gentlemen, Kennedy Agyapong, again, is the former member of parliament for St0rm, having served St0rm for 24 solid years, from the year 2020 to the year 2024. 24 solid years of unbroken parliamentary service. Ladies and gentlemen, just recently, you would agree with me, in the year 2023, the keynote speaker contested the flag bearership of the New Patriotic Party and gave a showdown performance. You can put your hands together better for him. After giving a showdown performance, I am happy to mention that he is still committed to his presidential ambition. And note this, in Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3, it reads that write the vision because it will certainly come to pass at the appointed time. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready to welcome him. The world celebrates him as the father for the fatherless, the hope for the hopeless, the voice for the voiceless, the compassionate man, the incorruptible man. Ladies and gentlemen, he's a leader, patriotic, honest, disciplined, fearless, bold, decisive, incorruptible. Ladies and gentlemen, with a standing ovation, let us welcome Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. Continue to show your love. Continue to put your hands together for Honorable Kennedy Agyapong.
So Honorable Kennedy Agyapong is about to deliver his speech at Central University. So let's listen to what he's having for us. All right. So you can hear the same shoulder and the rest. So let's listen to what he's having for us.
Thank you very much. Let me say good afternoon to you all. Before I speak, I first want to extend congratulations messages to the organizers of this program and say a big thank you to you for what you have done and what we are seeing this afternoon. Thank you very much. Again, I want to have different phrases here. I don't know the description to give. So I will say a big thank you to everybody present here, including my team. This afternoon, I've been charged to speak on entrepreneurship and leadership. First of all, I want to talk about entrepreneurship before I go to the leadership. One will ask, who is an entrepreneur? Entrepreneur is an individual who takes risk to create businesses and also enjoy the rewards. Simple put. But if you talk about entrepreneurship, I know you are all educated, and therefore you have pretty good knowledge about entrepreneurship. But what you learn in the classroom, although it's applicable when we are really doing business, but there are certain things that are not taught in the classrooms, and which I want to do justice to it, so that you become informed with what you have learned in school and what you are going to be confronted with as an entrepreneur when you come out of college. First, I'll use myself as an example to motivate those of you here, especially the young men and women who have decided to come, leaving everything, your studies. I hear some of you have exams, just to come and listen to me. I will share my personal experience with you, for you to know that entrepreneurs are not born, but they are made. Entrepreneurs are made, they are not born. So those of you who take consolation and say that, oh, entrepreneurs are born and therefore if I'm not an entrepreneur, I'm not capable of doing it, it is not true. Entrepreneurs are made, and you can emulate it from successful people, and through that, you can also call yourself an entrepreneur when you begin to establish businesses. Now, we have 7 qualities of an entrepreneur. First, I want the students to write it down. First is vision. Second is courage. Third is integrity. Fourth, focus. 5, foresight. 6, courage. And 7, cooperation. When you have these 7 areas and you focus on it, you can be an entrepreneur. But this side of the world, I want to bring it home to you. But to be an entrepreneur, first, you need to have the vision that I'm not going to work for an organization for the rest of my life, but I want to also employ people. When you have that vision, it means you are preparing yourself to become an entrepreneur, the one who will create businesses and opportunities for others also to enjoy. And this vision, those who have the vision, is those who think of the future. They are not complacent of today, but rather think of tomorrow, what they are going to do. When we have such people believing in the future, then you can say that they have a vision. It is not only the vision. You need to be courageous. You need to take bold decisions. That is what we call in economics risk. You have to take risk. Why it is necessary to take risk is that
All of us have dreams to be somebody in future. But the courage to take your destiny into your own hands. If you are not a risk taker, you cannot be an entrepreneur. So to be an entrepreneur, you have to take risk. And do not be a security seeker. You should be a risk taker and not a security seeker. What do I mean by a security seeker? Assuming you have 50,000 cedis and you want to go into business, you'll be contemplating, hey, if I go into this or I invest my 50,000 and I lose, what will happen to me? If I do this, I put the money in, what will be the outcome? What will be my fate? When you begin to talk like that, then you're a security seeker. You are only protecting what you have. But you need to be a risk taker and take the risk. That is why there's difference between those who take risk and those who always want to work for somebody. The one who works for somebody is not a risk taker, and therefore he's not an entrepreneur. Sometimes people misconstrue CEOs to be entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs to be CEOs. There are sharp differences. Entrepreneur is the one who creates the business and employ the chief executive to be a manager and manage the business. So there can be the most educated people sit at home waiting for somebody to create for them also to manage. They are all good, but there's a difference. An entrepreneur and a CEO who manages the business. He is a manager. Again, even in business, an entrepreneur is the one who creates. Because when we say a businessman is when I have manufactured this. He comes with his ingenuity to buy from me, then go and sell. He's not the one who created this. So there's also a difference. So you always see that an entrepreneur is the one who takes the risk, mostly bold decisions to create businesses for others also to get jobs and enjoy. Now, how do we become entrepreneurs?
So guys, he's talking about entrepreneurship and national leadership. That's the theme that he's discussing about who is an entrepreneur, who is a businessman, and who is employer. So it started with those who create jobs for people to do. They are not entrepreneurs. And then people who businessmen. It stated that if you are a businessman, if you say someone is a businessman, you being a businessman, it means that you have created a job and you've employed people, and that's when you choose your CEO, you choose your managers and people to manage the business for you. But people normally mistake entrepreneur and businessman to be one people.
Thank you very much.
Let's listen to him.
How do you become an entrepreneur? As students here, I want to give you practical examples. When you were coming to school, parents gave money to you. Maybe you were given 1,000 cedis for a semester. What you have to do with the 1,000 cities a semester is that you make sure you save at least 50% of the 1,000 cities, which is 500. Live a subsistent living for tomorrow. You live a subsistent living today for tomorrow. What I mean is, you could have spent the 1,000 cities this semester, but if you save 500 out of the 1,000 cities, you've raised a capital of 500 cities. Although in your standard, you might think it is not good enough, but I want to assure you, it's good enough because that's the beginning of savings. When you save this continuously, you can compare yourself with your colleague who spends his 1,000 cities every semester. He comes up with 0 in his account. Whereas in 3 semesters, you have 1,500 cities. That's the beginning of raising capital to start a business. Especially, I see some of the young ladies, when they raise this capital, then they begin to buy hair products, hair piece, and be selling them. That is the beginning of entrepreneurship. You build on it, and as time goes on, you see that you have raised enough capital to expand the businesses. You are better off than the one who will keep up the Joneses and say that, oh, John has bought this shoe, a designer shoe, I'm also going to get it. So you spend your last peso to buy a shoe. Whereas you could have saved that money for unknown tomorrow. So to raise capital, you need savings. You should have the power to save every money that comes to you. When you have saved enough capital, or when you have saved enough to use it as capital, then comes what you would think to do with the money. What business am I going to do? You'll be combing around to check and see which business will help you, or you're going to make money out of it. So you need to do right investment. And the capital, even in the Bible, what I always say is that it says, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all things shall be added unto thee. On earth, seek ye first capital, and the rest shall follow. When you have accumulated enough capital and established a business, a day will come that when you are spending, you don't even feel it because you have enough. Whereas those of your mates who spent their last resort to buy clothes, to buy shoes, to buy whatever they wanted at that time, you will see the difference, that it will come to a point that you employ your own classmates to be working for you. So the power of savings, wise investment, will be your trump card over all your colleagues. When you have invested all these monies, you need to work hard. If not, you're going to lose everything that you have saved. Working hard simply means we are here. We are all working at Central University. In Central University, we all make 8 hours, 100 cities. Hypothetically, 100 cities for 8 hours. And the administration says, look, you can do extra 4 hours and we'll give you 50 cities. Some colleagues will say that, oh, 100 cities is enough. So let me go home and rest after 8 hours. Those who will take the 4 hours extra makes more money than the one who took only 8 hours, because the extra income comes from the extra hours that you put in. So 2 of you who will have the highest purchasing power, the one who works more hours and make more money, obviously will have bigger or higher purchasing power than the one who works for 8 hours. You establish a business. People keep asking me. This morning when I was coming, a friend of mine asked me, "Why are you sleeping?" I said, "Oh, how?" "I'm on my way to airport. From there, I'm going to campaign office." And he said, in Tree, "Hey, Obrew." You know, because 7 o'clock, I'm almost there. You know, going to do 1 or 2 things before we come here. You have to work hard. You don't have to be complacent with whatever situation you are in and think you are content with it. In business, you have to be greedy. You have to be greedy and work for more money. And don't be complacent that, oh, my 8 hours is enough for me to rest. Such people who believe in the 8 hours will not be the same as people who believe in 12 hours. 12 hours, obviously, will make more money than the 8 hours. So you have to work hard. After working hard, what else? Every diligence of you becoming an entrepreneur, the key to success is honesty. Right? Because when you're doing entrepreneurship, you don't get it in the classroom teachings that the lectures give. Honesty is key to success. Why I say this is that I have a company that produces plastics, like the water bottles, and the suppliers give credit for 120 days. One of the suppliers came to Ghana to meet me, and when he was coming, he has read about my profile and everything. He came to me and said, "Honorable, I want you to help me retrieve my $70,000 from a gentleman." Why? Because the guy took materials worth $70,000 and never paid for 2 years. Do you think such a man will succeed in business? Because in the same industry, they know each other. So when your name goes to company A, it tells company B. By the time you realize you are cut off and you are not going to get materials anymore. So honesty is key to success. Everything that you do, if you have agreement with a company, a friend, anybody that you have agreement with, that when this business is done, you have about 50 cedis profit and I'm going to give it to you. Make sure you honor that. If you honor that, he'll give you more money or invest more money, and next time you'll give him 100 and you will make double out of it. But whatever is given to you, if you are dishonest and you keep the money, I'm afraid no business will be dealing with you anymore. And by the time you realize, your business has collapsed. So honesty, not only in business, every endeavor, honesty is key to success. If you are not honest, you will definitely not succeed in life. But with all this side of Africa, we have challenges as entrepreneurs or businessmen who are aspiring to a greater heights, have challenges. What are some of the challenges? The challenges, one, is our own attitude towards work. Our attitude towards work. I'm sorry, I have to speak the truth. Most of us, or many of us, our attitude towards work is horrible. Why do I say this? I'm sorry, I have to tell you the truth again. Today, we were ready to get to Central University at 10. That is why I got to my campaign office at 7. When we were ready to set off, we had a call that we have to wait because the school is not ready. I have to tell you the truth. Such things do not help productivity, time management. This side of the world, we don't manage our time. And because of our attitude, that when you are invited to a party and they say 10 o'clock, Ghana time, it is only Ghana that they have a different time. When it's 10 o'clock, it's 12. Such attitude do not help businesses. That is why, in terms of businesses, Africans are considered underdogs. So if you want to succeed in life and be a different businessman or entrepreneur, change your attitude. If 7 is 7, if you know 7, you are not going to make it like you did. Again, I praise you for that. At least you drew our attention that the 10 o'clock is not possible. Then we know that this is what we have to do. Anybody who manages his time, anybody who has a positive attitude will definitely succeed in life than those who don't have positive attitude and they do things the way they want. That's the challenge we have here as entrepreneurs. Then also, we are doing business. But our competitors who are foreigners always knock us out of business, we the locals or the citizens. Why? They have access to capital. Access to capital. If you are going for a loan to expand your business, the hassle you go through even to get capital to expand the business is not easy. You go through hell. Before the bank will believe you, you have to strip naked for them to know the kind of underwear that you are wearing before they accept your proposals. Even when you have been accepted to get the loan, which I advise each and everybody here, I'm not trying to destroy banks, but I'm trying to guide you how to protect your business and interests. Try as much as you can to refrain from loans. Loans. We have ridiculous rates in this country, hovering between 30 to 35%. Whereas our competitors coming from China, India, Lebanon, UK, whatever they're coming from, come with a loan with interest between 3 to 5%. How are we going to compete with them? That is why you see that Ghanaian entrepreneurs are only doing the small scale businesses. And the large scale businesses you find in this country are owned by foreigners because they get cheaper loans, come in and invest, and their cost of production is cheaper than us because of high interest rate that we do. So one of the challenges is the loan that we keep is so expensive that it's not been easy for anybody. Again, another problem we have in this country is culture. Our culture impedes progress. And if you have the same culture in your organization, it impedes the progress of the organization. Why? here in Ghana, if somebody steals from my company and I fire him, you have Reverend Minister coming to beg, politicians like my colleagues calling me, you have your relatives, your uncle, your father, your grandfather, all of them coming to you to plead with you. Meanwhile, elsewhere in the developed countries, when you are fired, you are fired. Nobody comes to beg for you. Then again, here, when you are fired, you can go to your mother's house, can go to your father's house, and at least you will eat. In the developed countries, you have to pay your rent. Even if you are staying with your mother, you pay rent. You have to buy food. You have to take care of yourself. And if you lose your job, there is no pastor coming to beg. There is no uncle coming to beg. There is no politician coming to beg. That is why the systems are working elsewhere and it is not working here. So if you want to succeed, I tell you the truth, even your own family, don't employ them. Let them stay home. Don't employ your own family. Let them stay home. When you make the money, you take good care of them. That will say, oh, Uncle Ken, well, you're nice. But if you give him a job and he doesn't do it and you sack him, your cousin will come and a family will need more than and one purpose in your force. Meanwhile, if you don't sack them, they will collapse the business. And these same relatives of yours will call you a useless man. A useless man. So you have to be bold and make sure you protect your interests. And your interest is to take firm decisions. You have to be strict. That's the only way you can make it. Because if you are working with a Chinese company and you get fired, will you get a politician to call the Chinese company? But in my case, you get my colleagues coming to beg. These are some of the disadvantages of Ghanaian entrepreneurs. So if you want to succeed, stay away from all these things and you'll be exceptional entrepreneur. If not, whatever you learned in books will not be applicable because of the mindset of the people. So young men and women here, I want you to take your destiny into your own hands and challenge yourself that if Kennedy Agyapong has done it, I can also do it. I was born and bred in a poor home, a village that there was no electricity, no water. The only chance I got to come to Accra was when I was in secondary school, Form 3 at Saga College. And every vacation, I was hawking on the street, selling. Yes, pick a chocolate, transit, yes, raw. Yes, pick a chocolate, transit, yes, raw. Today, I have over 7,000 workers, and this year, I added 350,000. So use me as your role model and emulate whatever I have done. Study it and challenge yourself that if Kennedy Agyapong, you are fortunate to be in the university at the age of 22, 23. I went to Fordham University at the age of 33. After hawking on the street, washing plates in Germany, driving taxi, and working at the bakery in America, I decided to go to university. And here we are today. So say to yourself, if Kennedy Agyapong has done it, I can do it too.
I can do it.
Sorry, I said 350,000. I said 350. After the 7,000, I said 350 this year. Now, let's talk about leadership, the nerve of the entrepreneur. Leadership. A young man looked at me. The young man who was here reciting his poem looked at me and said, focus. It is one of the visions or qualities of leadership. The first one is vision. Again, you get it in entrepreneurship. Second is quality. Third, integrity. Fourth, foresight. Faith, humility. Sixth, focus. And third, cooperation. Let's take it one by one. To be a leader, you need to have a vision. You need to have a dream. Say to yourself that I am going to make sure in the next 10, 20 years, I'll put Ghana on a different map for the whole world to see that we are created by God just like others. You have the vision. Challenge yourself. I never knew I was going to get to this point in life. But I have always said to myself, I'll be a millionaire at the age of 40. That boy from a poor village, I was a millionaire at the age of 36. So I had a vision, I had a dream that one day I'm going to be somebody. The same way a leader who is leading a country, who is leading an organization should have a dream and a vision. What he's going to do for his country. And I have a vision, I have a dream. As a businessman, as an entrepreneur, young men and women here, vote for me to come to power, and you see how I'll use businesses to change this country. A leader should have the courage. A leader should have the courage. If you don't have the courage, then step aside. Let me quote Abraham Maslow. Abraham Maslow said, in simply put, you will either step into growth or you either step back into safety. I repeat what Abraham Maslow said. You will either step into growth or you will step backward into safety. What does that mean? You need to challenge yourself as a leader when you are leading people, when you are leading a country. Now look, what is the problem my country is facing? I stand here as a Ghanaian, and on top of my head, I can tell you the challenge Ghanaians are facing, especially the youth of this country. When we have over 100,000 students coming out of every year, you have only 10% getting jobs. What happens to the 90%? You need a leader who is creative, a leader who is bold and courageous to say that, look, enough is enough. Let us change the status quo and change the narrative. If we do that, Ghana will see the glory during the independence time again in this country. So we need to be courageous. A visionary leader, a courageous leader who doesn't have integrity will not be able to achieve anything. So integrity is the most admirable of all the 7 qualities of a leader. If your people believe in you, that Kennedy Agyapong is honest, he's credible, he will do it for us without taking bribes, you will get every citizen of this country to come on board. So without integrity, any leader who comes with force, pushing people here and there to accept his beliefs, will never work. So integrity is key. Then a foresight. You should have a foresight that this is the level I want to take this country to. A man with a foresight is able to study the market or the conditions of his own country and say that, and make a projection that in the next 5 years, this is how far I want to go with my country's economy. This is how far I want to create job opportunities for my youth. I believe in you. If not the youth that invited me, probably I would have been in America, because today, on Monday, my daughter, a dentist, I'm a village boy. I don't even know all these things. They are saying a white coat, so I have to be there. And I say, I've been invited to go to Central University, so my wife has left. Again, besides the foresight, you need a leader with humility. A leader with humility, meaning a leader who can always let people know how he appreciates them, how he respects them, so that they also reciprocate the respect and they work together. If you become a dictator and you don't respect the people, no matter the brilliant ideas you have, if you are not humble with your people, you will never achieve your goal. So a leader must be humble and bring everything on board, everybody on board. A leader should stay focused. I have challenged myself that in the next 3 years, I should employ 10,000 workers in this country. And nothing will stop me. I'm staying focused. I have planned it. This time, there are turbulence in terms of the economy. And we are going to confront the turbulence, the situations we are in today, for a better tomorrow. So I'm focused. And to be a leader of this country, if you are not focused, you cannot lead this country. I want to stay focused. There are distractions here and there, but I close my ears, my eyes, and pretend I have not heard anything, because I don't want any distraction. So we're going to do it. The last one of the 7 is cooperation. The cooperation is when you bring everybody together and they help you to achieve it. What I always refer to the cooperation is what we call in economics, I have my former deputy finance minister here, the 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rules is simply put, 20% of your workers who believe in your ideologies and work with you can give 80% of the company's results. That is what we call 80-20. So we are going to use cooperation to bring everybody on board in terms of development. And we can do it. Let's say to ourselves that yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Yes, I can.
That's the only way we can change this country. We need the cooperation of everybody. Move this country to a level where if 100,000 students come out of college, at least you have 80% of the 100,000 working. And those of you who have chosen to be here to listen to me, you are going to be the future entrepreneurs of this country. But today, you have a choice. You have a choice to stay in the classroom. You have a choice to do any other thing. But you chose to be here to listen to who entrepreneur is and who is the leader. Clap for yourself. So this afternoon, what we have learned, most of them, you don't get it in the classroom. It comes from personal experience. So I share this personal experience with you and give you confidence that each and every one here should take his destiny into his own hands and say that sky is the limit. Don't be complacent. Don't be a myopic thinker. Don't be complacent and think everything that you have is enough for you. Strive hard and make more money, create more businesses. That makes you a better person in society than anybody who did not come here to listen to this message. So young men, young women present here, I want to take this opportunity to thank you for giving me opportunity to share these few ideas with you. And I know we are not going to get everybody to come on board to be an entrepreneur. But even if we get 10 out of the crowd gathered here, we've made a move. And definitely one day we'll benefit from it. So say to yourself, if Kennedy Agyapong has done it, I am also going to do it. And I can do it even better than Kennedy Agyapong. Thank you very much. God bless all of you.
A lot. Let's laugh for ourselves. Even those with phones, I noticed a lot of them who were trying to keep notes. And I'm very sure this is a man of experience, who delivered to us, and these are nuggets that can take us to the higher heights. Once again, Honorable, thank you very much. I know a lot of us we have a lot of questions to ask, and Honorable is here. We also are privileged to have with us the Dean of Student Affairs in the person of Professor Agradaa. Please, let's appreciate them. Thank you very much. Thank you. In due time, she will come and submit to us a paper. At this point in time, we'll be taking 3 rounds of questions. The first round will take 5, then we come second round 5, and then third round 3. Then we are good to go. Let your questions be short and straight to the point. We would, let's see, if you have questions, just lift up your hands, yes.
Mention your name and who you are.
All right, so we are taking where is my co-MC, please? So let's see the first 5. Just let's 1.
The first 5. 1, 2, 3. Please, he's standing for it.
Just first 5, please. Let's be on our feet. Okay. Thank you very much. Please, you mention your name and then straight to the question.
Thank you very much. My name is Wisdom Asamoah from Crossing High School. The question goes to Honorable. Suppose you are starting a business from the scratch today, in today's economy. Please, how will you start? What are the do's and the don'ts that you have to take notice of? Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. My name is Kennedy Agyapong. Please, I have 2 questions. 1, I think many youths are discouraged by corruption, nepotism, and lack of support in the system. How can we as young people rise above this and still succeed? My second question. You balance politics on and business quite uniquely. What advice do you have for young people who want to make an impact in both fields without losing focus? Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes, please go ahead. Please, your name.
Also known as So my question is Honorable has been consistent about interest rates. I've listened to a lot of presentations, interest rates, and spoken about protecting the financial assets. I want you to tell us exactly what can be done since we've had professors and doctors and lawyers handling the economy. As a businessman, what is specifically going to do to make sure that interest rates come down so that we can be competitive with the foreigners? Thank you.
Hello. My name is Opaya, Ghana Telecom. Well, I'll begin with punctuality. Honorable made mention that most of us are not punctual, especially using the university as an example, not coming on time. But then, when you are from Accra to North, probably using railways will take you like 30 minutes. Yet we need to take bus, which will take approximately 21 hours before getting there. Means maybe we have not prioritized our time. It's no concern of yes yet. Secondly, as children of the land, say I'm an entrepreneur. Definitely, I intend to grow my business overseas. So, do we talk about industrialization as part of the entrepreneurship, or that also matters not? Then, this goes to the professors in the house. If there has been a research on our language being changed, let's say, for instance, science, being changed into our language, and therefore not going to learn English before you'll be able to know you have to mix this chemical with this to get this metal. Thank you.
I think on the second question, we'll let Honorable speak his opinion on that, because it is Honorable that asked the question and not the professor.
Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. My name is St0rm. I'm from Nigeria. So coming to Ghana, I've had to adjust to a lot of things, and I have really tried to understand the economic landscape here. So as an aspiring entrepreneur with a keen interest in real estate and the stock market, I am particularly interested in the insight. Given your remarkable success in business and in building a business empire, and considering the current economic climate in Ghana, what key indicators or qualities do you prioritize when considering investing in a new business idea? Furthermore, what crucial advice would you give regarding securing initial funding or investment for a promising startup?
Okay. Honorable will try to answer the questions.
The first question was, how will you start a business today, considering the economic environment? What I can tell you is, depends on your capital, what you decided to do. But to start a business, like I said, you need savings. You need to save to raise capital. And when you have enough capital for a particular business, you do the analysis and see that where I'm going to establish this business, we call something economics, a comparative and competitive advantage. And let me give you one example when it comes to comparative advantage. In this country, we have about 6 regions that are calling for large-scale agriculture and industries. But to site your company or your factory, you first look at the locations. So this is when you have the capital. I hope you are listening. When you have the capital, the location is also very, very important. So it's location, location, location. Today, if I have to invest in large-scale farming and agro-processing, I will be brutally frank. I will invest in the border region before the north. As a businessman, because of proximity to market, because of proximity to the port, if I have my finished product from, say, YOUTHQUAKE, it will take me about an hour to get to the port, 1 hour, 20 minutes to get to the market. But in the north, it will take me about 21 hours or 2 days to get the stuff or my finished product to the market. The cost of transportation alone will eat into your profit. So when we have capital and we are citing your business, you should consider location. It's very, very important. You just don't go, even if you're going to rent a shop, look at where the traffic is heading. If you want to go into raw materials, look at areas where they are building new homes. These are how you take the decision, the strategy, to start the business. You just don't go into business because Kennedy Agyapong did this and he succeeded, and therefore you're also going to go into it. No, you don't know what goes into a particular business. So you have to do a good research and not just enter into any business. When you do a good research for a product, then you can say that this is where I'm going to cite it, this is the product I'm going to manufacture. So all these things is a whole topic that we can take a whole day to discuss. Nepotism. Nepotism, favoritism is what is killing this country. No doubt about it. You know, recently in the news, you hear Agradaa and Sammy Gyamfi. You know, if I were the president, I would fire Sammy Gyamfi right away, not even a second, because the evidence is clear. I don't need to go and do any investigation. To serve as a deterrent. Young men and women complete their university education, they did their national services. And even national service, you have to pay to get a good company to work. If you don't know a politician, you cannot even do your national service. All these things are impeding progress. And because of that, because of nepotism, we always employ square pegs in a round hole. So it's a concept that we need to solve or resolve. So I'm glad you brought it up. And you also questioned about business and politics. It is not very easy. In business, I would have gone far than where I am today if I'm not a politician. Why? Because I belong to one political party. If there's change of government, they attack your business, the new government attacks your business, even your own government. Friends might look at your face and they don't like it and try to kill your business. But if you're a politician and you are not a businessman, it's different. You don't feel the pain. But if you're a businessman and you are still doing politics, it is not very easy. So to balance it, all you need to do to enable you to balance it is honesty. Don't compromise on your integrity. If you compromise on your integrity and do any fishy deals, any change of government, they will come after you and collapse your business. So if you want to do business and at the same time go into politics, you should know what is ahead of you. It's a high stake that you're going to take. Interest rates. First, to reduce interest rates, in this country, I have to tell you, I am not scared. I will tell you the truth because I'm a businessman. You don't need the government competing with entrepreneurs or businessmen in terms of borrowing. The government is borrowing from the banks, and private sector is also borrowing from the banks. It makes it very difficult for the private sector to get a lower rate. 2, Bank of Ghana sets a prime rate at say 22%. Where on earth do you set a prime rate at 22% and expect the bank with all the risk also to give to customers at 25? So right from day one, the Bank of Ghana regulation is nothing to write home about, and therefore we have to do something about it. Again, production. When we create businesses, the government will get taxes from workers, the businesses, they pay their annual taxes and everything, the corporate taxes. When the government has enough money, it will bring the rates down because they will not be competing with private sector for loans to do other projects. So creating more employment and flooding the market with goods and services will also bring interest rates down. Today we are talking about dollar. I hear in the news all over. The economists will tell you if they are fair and they are not playing politics with it. It is not a magic from NDC government, it's not a magic from NPP government that is bringing the dollar down. It is Trump and his policies towards the rest of the world's economy that people are not demanding dollars as expected. So the dollars are sitting there. Now they are competing with China. So whatever they are saying, if Trump and the world come together again, you will see that our country did not put or implement any policies that will bring the dollar down. So whatever you are seeing here is temporary. I am telling you, it's temporary. It is not any economic gurus in this country that is causing the city to appreciate and the dollar to depreciate. It is the world market that they are not demanding the dollars as much as they used to. That is why there is no competition. And supply of dollar is exceeding the demand. As simple as that. These are basic economics principles. So we have to be careful with what we are saying about interest rate and all those things. It's not magic. It is the world economy that is falling apart. And the demand for the dollar has gone down. Somebody asked about punctuality. Punctuality, I talk about time because if you become disciplined with your time, it affects everything that you do, even the decisions that you take. So if they ask you to come at 7, somebody will tell you, I leave at Okaishi and I'm working at, I have a company called Platinum, do the plastics. I always take buses to Kaleshi, Ashama, Tema Central to pick the workers. With all this, some come and they are late because coming to join the bus is not waiting for one person. So when they are late, it leaves you and they come back giving excuses that I need vaccination. When you were looking for a job, did you tell your boss that you need vaccination and therefore you be coming to work very late? If you have told your boss that you be coming to work very late, would he have employed you? So that is no excuse. You knew you were staying at Kaneshi and coming to work at free zones. So if you start work at 5, you have to wake up at 3 to get there. No excuse. But you know, if you wake up at 4, you cannot use 1 hour to get to free zone. So punctuality is very, very important. And delays will also reduce production. So punctuality. That's the only way we can grow the economy. Industrialization, if I talk about entrepreneurship, what do you mean by industrialization? The businesses that we are creating. Somebody mentioned I have a steel plant worth 100 million. In fact, I don't know how he got it, but 3 days ago, the Indians came and they assessed the factory and they said it's $100 million. And I need $35 million working capital. Now, do you call Kennedy Agyapong an industrialist? Or what? So, it's the entrepreneurs who create the industries. So if we are talking about entrepreneurs, they are the same people. When we say industry, we have small scale ones and large scale ones. So at any level, those going into production, they are also part of the industrialization process. So entrepreneurs are leaders of the industries. And therefore, don't get it wrong. They are the same. Language. Very interesting point. See, if we're able to use our own language, in Ghana here, they always say, oh, if you can't speak good English, it means you are not intelligent. That is what we call in Latin, fallacy of argumentum ad hominem. Okay? Because I have about 27 Indians at site now. You know, I have always had the impression that India is an English-speaking country, and therefore they all speak English. It's not true. I took them to Noble restaurant one day, having lunch with the workers, the Indians. And all of them here are engineers. But they can't speak English. Only few. They use their language. And they are fixing all these machines. Those of us going to Accra will pass by the factory for you to see. So, look, I would have been one of the brilliant students if I had used my own language. I was born at the Asylum. I'm from Papa. You know, at Saga College, when we speak, they will call me, and the young ones from Radio 12, Morning Star Association, they all tell me about the teacher, the master was, yes, the gentleman back there, and they will tell them, Kennedy Agyapong, a new block for Germany. You know, we struggle to use the white man's language. So I think it's very interesting point that you've raised, and we need to discuss further. Maybe we've gone too far, so many years, but it's still worth trying. In our own language, you see many people coming out with flying colors. Real estate and stock exchange. My lady from Nigeria, this side of the world, there are two types of real estate. I have failed in real estate. Why? Because I build or buy and rent. I have so many houses empty, apartments, encampments here and there, they are all empty. Those who benefit from real estate are the builders, those who build and sell. And you see, like that is not a lucrative business. I'll give you one example. The new factory that I bought, that employs 350 people. I did not pay more than $4 million for that factory. And it's employing 350 people. I have a house in Cantonese that the land alone I paid $2.2 million. So completion, what would be your estimation? So instead of going into real estate, preferably you go into manufacturing. Because what I'm earning from the $4 million company, in the next 2 years, I'll get my money back. Whereas the properties that I have are sitting there idle, empty. Nobody is buying it. You see so many apartment buildings going for sale. They're there for sale. These are the contractors who have decided to go into real estate. It's not about that, the mere fact that you're giving it a thought shows that you want to be an entrepreneur. So I will encourage you, but be careful which area you enter into. It's very, very important. But I'm not, honestly speaking, I'm not fascinated with it. I give you one, I don't have to tell you, but I don't want you to make mistakes. So I'll share my personal experience with you again. I put 3 million aside. 1 million at the bank for my new house. 1 million to complete my new coastal. And 1 million to do the earthwork, the civil works at the steel plant. Would you believe that the $1 million I put in my house is finished? And when you go there, it's uncompleted. The $1 million I put in the coastal, when you go there and see the level, something that is going to bring me money, when you see what $1 million has done with the new coastal, $31,000, you have no idea. $1 million is the steel plant. When you go there and you see the earthworks that they've done, and meanwhile, the house, $1 million is like you have a seed that you drop in the water in there. It goes just like that. So you have to be careful with real estate. That is all I can tell you. It's good. It means you want to be self-independent. You want to do your business. It's good. And you have to be careful. I'm not saying I'm writing it off completely, no. But try other manufacturing areas and you see what will happen. Stock exchange. With what I'm doing with industries, I call it lazy approach. You know, one of my daughters worked at the Google, started buying stocks. One day, said, Daddy, let me show you. I made $432,000. No, she's just about 24. I think this February she was 26. $432,000. Just about 2 months ago, the 432, because of the volatility of the stock exchange, the money dropped to about 200,000. But if you put it in a business where you have time to manage it yourself, you will see the outcome. They are in America and they don't know this kind of manufacturing and how they are going into it, and therefore they're going into stocks. It's good, but I call it easy approach. Because you can spend about $300,000 and have this water manufacturing company. And in the next 1 year, you get your $300,000 back. So stock exchange and real estate. If you are into business, this side of the world, you see that stock exchange and real estate, they don't bring money. I give you take that example again. Donald Trump, when we were in America, guy with Trump panels and all those. Then you have MC panels. Now the tech guys are taking over. The tech guys, technology guys, they've taken over. So you should watch the trend, how it's going before you invest. Priorities. I mean, when we talk about priorities, you should set goals for yourself. And the goals that you set, some are more important than the others. So you have to start. Another example, I'm a pragmatic guy, and therefore I always want to give practical examples from my own experience. I stole idea from Honorable Speaker. A friend of mine was going to buy a car at $250,000. And Honorable Speaker came to me with equipment that he has imported to build his water company at $250,000. Whose priority is right? Because when you buy a car at $250,000, you take it out of the showroom to your house, the value depreciates right there. Because you drove the car from the showroom to your house, depreciation sets in. Whereas when you set up the factory, appreciation, it appreciates its value. So every individual should set his priorities straight. Some of them are just lavish. Some of them, when you invest in, it assures your future. So priority in every decision making, you have to prioritize the most important point first, the most important project first, before you go to others. Then the last one, we talk about savings. You need to save. No matter how small your money is, if you want to raise capital, and you have a vision, you have a dream to be yourself one day, you have to save your money, no matter how small it is. But one day, you accumulate enough capital to invest. So do not think that you have a dream, a good proposal, and you are going to bank for a loan. You are going to work for the bank for the rest of your life. I hope I've exhausted the questions so far. Thank you very much.
Mr. MC, I think His Excellency will sit, then we'll ask you to invite the Dean to come and speak. Then maybe it's time, because people have been sitting for long.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So let's appreciate Honorable. Let's appreciate him. Let's appreciate him. Thank you very much, Honorable. And Mr. DJ just give us an interlude whilst our Dean of Students, Prof, takes over. When she's done, we will see if we have to revisit the second part of the Q&A. Please, just an interlude whilst we prepare to